Namaste. In 1824, the First Anglo-Burmese War was at its peak and it was helmed by then the Governor-General Lord Amherst. It was a war that was primarily fought for control of what is today's northeast India. In 1822, the Burmese had invaded Manipur and Assam, leading to the war with the British East India Company. The troops of British East India Company Bengal army were to be transported by sea to Burma and they were hesitant to be shipped overseas. Nevertheless, the protests in Mathura were ignored and about 1400 odd Indian troops, which included the 47th, 26th and 62nd regiments of the Bengal Native Infantry, were to travel to Chittagong before they left for Rangoon via ship. Among the leaders of these troops was Sepoy Bindi Tiwari. We know very little about who was he and where he came from. We can just deduce from his name that he was a Purabya from UP, serving the Bengal army. What made matters worse was that the troop had to organize their own provisions and even transportation. Exhausted and angry, they demanded three things: better battle gear, transportation for the belongings, and twice their usual allowance bhatta for fighting in hostile territory. The British turned down their demands. The troops were tired and humiliated. On 1st November 1824, Bindi Tiwari refused to follow the orders and he was joined by 11 others, all of them battalion leaders. A parade was held on 1st November during which the soldiers of 47th Native Infantry appeared without their knapsacks and refused to bring them even when they were ordered to do so. A petition was sent to Paget, who arrived from Calcutta on hearing of the escalation. The Sepoys presented their demands to Paget via an emissary. Paget replied that legitimate demand would be addressed only after the Sepoys laid down their muskets. Paget, an old-school disciplinarian of royal service, viewed this refusal as an act of armed struggle. He summoned two regiments of European troops, the 47th Regiment of Foot and 1st Regiment, as well as troops of the Governor-General's bodyguard from Calcutta. He also brought in house artillery from nearby Dum. On the morning of 2nd November, the reinforcement and royal members of 26th and 62nd regiments moved into position. They secretly surrounded the Sepoy campground and a final message was sent to the Sepoys, demanding that they lay down arms before any discussion on grievances. It is said that they were given only 10 minutes to make up their minds. The Sepoys either hesitated or rejected the ultimatum, and Paget ordered 2 cannons to fire on the so-called rebels, followed by an attack from the rear by the secretly placed horse artillery. Surprised by this sudden assault, the Sepoys tried to flee, but the rest of the British regiments attacked from every direction. Tiwari and 11 other leaders of the revolt were tried and sentenced to death. Tiwari was singled out for particularly brutal treatment. His limbs were chained, he was hanged from a peepal tree, and his body was allowed to rot for days. It was a chilling and barbaric message from the British to anyone harboring rebellious thoughts. 6 months after Tiwari's death, some soldiers built a shrine in his memory under the peepal tree where he had been hanged, and also installed a small bust of Lord Hanumanji there. The memorial, called Baba Binda, it is maintained by the army in the Barakpur cantonment to this date. This is said that Mangal Pandey often visited this memorial, and the martyr soldier became his inspiration when he fired shot that triggered the revolt of 1857, 33 years after the Barakpur revolt. Watch this upcoming episode of Swaraj at 9 a.m. and again at 9 p.m. Sunday on Doordarshan. Witness the story of two brave lads of Bharat Ma, Bindi Tiwari and Mangal Pandey, who fought to restore Swadharma and Swaraj. Thank you. Like and share our videos and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon.